Hi guys, it's Harry and I'm making another video. And I've recently just got back from wrestling. Obviously it's Sunday, I'm recording this, which will be uploaded on the Monday, just before Monday Night Raw. However, if you're wondering if you saw me today, why I'm wearing the same clothes, that's why obviously. And if you don't know where they would have seen me, it would be at Dropkicks University of Wrestling. You can find them on Facebook and on the website. Just type in Dropkicks University of Wrestling and they will come up, and if it doesn't, search Purfleet Wrestling School, it'll definitely come up. If you live in England, definitely go and check them out if you want to learn. Some proper good trainers there, and you learn quite a lot. I've been there for a few months and I've already been able to put on a few matches in training, not necessarily in a ring, in terms of on show, but personally, just little ones in training, building up confidence, learning moves, learning structure of matches. It's brilliant, just be sure to check it out. But anyway, that's sort of off topic. So today I'm talking about the SuperStar Shakeup. Now we've known that we've had the two Raws, one Raw and a SmackDown after Mania, but Mania weekend, I haven't even talked about that yet. It's the first video after that. It was incredible. Did not love the Hall of Fame actually, fell asleep halfway through. Hillbilly Jim was so boring. Honestly, I try and watch it because I think, oh God, love the legends, but I just cannot make myself sit through that. Then we got to TakeOver, some brilliant matches. Gargano versus Ciampa, excellent. But however, my match of the night, even though I thought that one would be, was actually the ladder match. I loved that, had some storytelling, had some spots, brilliant. Of course it has some spots, some storytelling, but had a lot of it and it was entertaining as hell. And if you didn't know, Meltzer actually rated both of their matches 5 stars, which is a pretty big achievement. Then we get to WrestleMania. I actually had my mate Elliot stay around. You wouldn't have seen him before, have heard of him before. He's not actually a wrestling fan, but I brought him down, trying to get him into it, and he may actually be getting into it now, which is actually going to be pretty good for me to get to enjoy some wrestling shows, potentially watching some. Maybe we'll get into videos later on if he does actually continue to get into it. But anyways, that was off topic again. Well, not necessarily, but it was not to do with SuperStar Shakeup, which I'm going to be talking about today. I have my predictions, and I'm doing it in the structure of the women, the tag teams, and then the men. I'm going to start with Raw, then go to SmackDown, okay? So here we go. Now the first woman going to Raw, I say will be Ruby Riott. Now, I haven't seen too many rumours about her, but I'm considering that the Riott Squad hasn't really done much. I think that it's got to the point where you're going to break them up. You don't need to keep them together or worry too much about that. Keep Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan as the two, let's say lesser out of the group, together. So they can still sort of stay together, but Ruby Riott can go off on her own. And a nice new heel to go on to Monday Night Raw. Now, the next person we have is Naomi. Now, she won the match at WrestleMania in the Battle Royal. So, potentially, it looks like they're going to be building her up a bit. Hopefully, they don't treat that as the men's one, where they don't really give them a push from it. Let's hope that she does actually get a push, and she could be another babyface. Once we get a heel, we always get a babyface, and they go to Raw as well. Can see them being one of the top faces on Monday Night Raw, potentially get into feuds with the likes of Nia Jax if she turns back heel, if not, just face v face. Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, maybe even Ember Moon, another face v face. But who knows, it'd be some excellent matches, and they need something to spice up the Monday Night Raw Women's division, so I think that's how you do it. Now the tag teams. Now I haven't put too many brilliant tag teams going to Raw because I feel like the tag team division, it probably needs it, but I like the way that SmackDown is right now. I don't want to risk changing that too much, but I have given some pretty good teams that can go across. The first one is the Fashion Police. Of course, that consists of Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Haven't really been featured much recently, which means it'd be an easy person to switch over. Not really invested in too many feuds, and it would just sort of make sense. And the next team is, which is I'd say a bigger team, is Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Just two was. The last team was more of a comedy team, just entertaining to watch. Pure entertainment in terms of the psychology, technicality, and just the sort of flippy stuff, everything you can get with these wrestlers. And I think they genuinely deserve the tag titles. And I think they should go to Raw and put themselves at the top of that division, feuding with the likes of the Bar and whatever teams are there, but I'm not going to try and spoil too much, as I have had some teams obviously go to SmackDown Live. And now we're getting into the big ones. We're talking about the men's superstars, and I've put quite a few big people going over. And the first one, which I haven't really heard anyone rumour or talk about anyway, is Bobby Roode. Now, I think Bobby Roode, he's not really doing too much on SmackDown right now. He's not the #1 contender, so he can go over. I just sort of see Bobby Roode treading water on SmackDown right now, so I think send him over to Raw, give him something else to do, and that's the way you actually make him entertaining again and give him something to do. Maybe have him feud with the likes of Seth Rollins. I won't push him to the Universal title. I don't think he's necessarily ready for that right now. Well, he's capable, but I just don't think in terms of how over he is with the crowd and how entertaining he's been recently, I don't think he's actually warranted it. But I think if he can feud with the likes of Seth Rollins, maybe turn heel, get himself more over, then potentially go up to that level. Now we have a person, and if we're talking about being over, this person is incredibly over. We're talking about Rusev himself. Now, there's a lot of rumours recently about him leaving the WWE. Now, he's removed all mentions of WWE from his Twitter, and he actually got removed from a casket match at the Greatest Royal Rumble versus The Undertaker, which if you get to face him, especially at his age now, is just, you're treated as like a top level guy because he doesn't just wrestle anyone. You have to be top to be able to wrestle him, as he normally only comes out for WrestleMania or massive shows, which means that they was trusting him with that. However, he's been removed for Chris Jericho. Now, reading into that, I'm not going to go too much into that here. What I think is going to happen is that he's going to go to Raw. Whether after that he ends up leaving, who knows? But maybe they think if we put him on a bigger show, which of course, while SmackDown is a big show, Raw is obviously still the flagship show. We put him on the flagship show, we get him big pop coming over. Maybe they don't want to leave so much anymore. Maybe we can give him a push, IC title. In fact, maybe they're going to do a little bit of bait and switch where he actually removes all that so they think he's going to leave. And in fact, he ends up in a Universal title picture. Who knows? Maybe the reason they don't want him to go against The Undertaker because they're making him go against Brock Lesnar, which is, it could happen, guys. Who knows? Maybe it's just, you know what WWE's like. They're sort of, can happen. It can happen. You can have one moment here, one moment there. It's just a big moment, basically. They like to have a little trick thing, make you think one thing, but actually it's another. So that could be another reason. Now, the top two here, one's heavily rumoured, especially with people I've talked with, but another one is also, well, both of these are heavily rumoured actually, but the one who's not doing as much at the moment is Randy Orton. Now, he is meant to be facing Jinder Mahal at the Greatest Royal Rumble for the belt, but I think that can be like, if he wins, he gets to bring over to Raw. I don't see him winning that anyway. I see you bring Randy Orton over, we put him in the main event again, because even though I wouldn't particularly like that personally, I think it's WWE, the sort of thing they do, and he's just a top level guy. It promotes him to the top level, and he'll probably win it. He'll probably want to be on Raw anyway. And our final guy is Daniel Bryan. Everyone said this. What I'd like to mention is they would not have given away Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles on free TV that quickly if he was not leaving, if one of them was not leaving. And AJ is still the champion and going into a feud with Nakamura. So unless Nakamura is going over as well, and the title, which means the Universal title would have to go with SmackDown, which makes zero sense because it's a big red belt, and you've got Brock Lesnar with it, it's not going to happen. So the person going over is Daniel Bryan. He wants to continue his career there. This is what happens. So let me know in the comments right now what you think about my Raw predictions, and we'll see how many I get right out of that one. But now we're going into my SmackDown ones. Now, of course, I haven't had so many big names because it's likely that WWE want more big names on Raw, and I want to be realistic. However, I haven't had it too little that it seems like last year where they just cherry-picked the best stars, put them onto Raw, and then they just got like sloppy seconds, basically. So, like, again, same structure, women's, tag, then the men's. And the first woman is Asuka. This is a big name, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to just shortchange him, but it's not going to be the likes of Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, that sort of name. Asuka's still a massive name. I mean, she lost a streak, but she has still lost one match. She still has a lot of credibility left. She can still go on a mega streak. Who knows, perhaps they just want to have Charlotte be put up, but they can still have her just defeat everyone, not lose again, and then say, perhaps at next year's WrestleMania, have a rematch, be like, I only lost once, I've lost one match, and it was against you, I want to prove I can beat you. Something along the lines of that. And I don't think they're just going to continue to be like, right, you've lost now, you're going to lose every single match, you're going to job to bloody Dana Brooke. No, they're going to still build her up as a mega star. And whether she's going to start losing more, it's probably likely that will happen. She's not necessarily going to go undefeated like I just said. But I don't think they're going to make her lose a lot. And I think to do that, they get put on SmackDown Live. The next woman is Bayley. Going into feud with Sasha Banks, having a grudge match on Raw tonight. Well, tomorrow night, but tonight as you're seeing this. Which would mean it would make sense for her to go afterwards, so then their feud's done, then she can move on. I can't remember whose video it was, but they said that WWE, besides Ronda Rousey, the two women that are at the top is Sasha Banks and Charlotte. And putting them on the same brand sort of weakens the other one's women division. That's sort of why they split them up already, and they've already had feuds anyway, so it doesn't really make sense. So by splitting them up, what that does is it sort of frees up a big woman on one brand, a big one on the other, while still having the feud split up. So Bayley, I see the one going over, and I can sort of see new phase, maybe try and revitalise her career there. Tag teams, I think these ones got the better tag teams. The first one is The Club. Now, The Club to me is not a particular favourite of mine, but I do like their work. I do think they're an entertaining tag team, and I think that necessarily they haven't had enough time to shine. So I think if you put them on SmackDown, they get more of an opportunity to show what they're worth, go after the tag titles, have a long reign, because last year they had a reign. It just wasn't that long, basically. So putting them on there, they can have a longer reign, potentially. See what they can do. But the team that I really want, so this is probably one of my favourite tag teams in the world, not just wrestling, like not just WWE, just in terms of wrestling, is The Revival. Come on, guys. Now on Raw, they're facing Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt to go and face The Bar, the Greatest Royal Rumble. Who's going to win that? It's obviously going to be Bray and Matt. Not going to make them lose straight away. So of course, The Revival have time to come on to SmackDown. It makes sense, and logically, it just means that WWE can push The Revival while still elevating The Bar, Matt and Bray, all these other teams they want to build up, while still being able to be like Revival. You don't have space here, but we're going to push you there instead. And then matches with the Usos, the New Day, all that sort of thing. Just imagine it. It would be insane. These are probably the two best technical wrestlers in terms of the tag team division, in my opinion. The matches they had in NXT was incredible, and if they can recreate that in the main roster, then they are definitely going to be winning the tag titles sometime soon. And now we're getting down to the final four once again. So here we have four quite big. Actually, no, I said four. It's actually three guys. No, I realised I was going to say four. I did have a fourth person in there, but I decided to take them out because I think they're probably not going to give SmackDown the same amount. Or if they do, it's going to be a jobber, so I don't really want to predict it anyway. It won't be easy to do that. So I've just gone for the three sort of bigger guys that I can think of. The first one I've not seen rumoured at all, and that is Elias. Now, Elias has feuded and had matches with a lot of people on Raw. You think about it, he's cut promos, done songs, he is just interfered in matches, he's had a lot of multi-man matches, tag matches, just a lot of short feuds. You name it, he's done it with all these different people. And he hasn't done that with just sort of, that's his character, calling up people on a daily basis. He cannot just do that with one person. So being onto a new brand, of a whole new set of characters basically, for him to mock, have a go at, have feuds with, seems likely to me, but for some reason no one else has seemed to sort of say that. Now, this one's a return, and I'm saying Big Cass. Now, a lot of people are saying that he can return on Mania, he can return on Raw after Mania, SmackDown after Mania, but it's a shake-up. This means the brands are going to be shaken up and changed, and if you don't know, if you're only new to wrestling, he was in fact on Raw before he got injured about, I believe, 6 or 7 months ago now, could be even longer than that. I believe it was last summer, so it could be like 9-10 months ago. It was a very long time ago, let's just say that. So to have him say, well, look, it's still a shake-up, you just weren't expecting it because you haven't seen him in a while. It's sort of a shock, return, and a shake-up at the same time, which WWE love, and sort of a big guy for SmackDown, because in terms of the bulky guys, the majority of them are on Raw, and I think having someone like that is sort of change up the division. And it's just a little bit, you've still got people like Baron Corbin, you still obviously have big guys there, but they could probably use one more, I'd say, just sort of change up the matches. So not every match is a high-flying match or just a technical masterpiece, which obviously you're not going to complain about, but at the same time, you don't want every single match on the card to be exactly the same thing. And now the main guy who I'm saying, and I have seen a lot of times, like I said quite a few times, is Finn Balor. Finn Balor's been rumoured a lot to go to SmackDown Live. They're saying that this before Mania, after Mania, and I think if you're going to put a guy, you want to replace a big technical guy who's over, like Daniel Bryan. Finn Balor's your guy. You have an AJ Styles, and they have had a match before, but you saw how good that match was. So I think being able to have that for a title, bam. Dolph Ziggler versus him. Dolph Ziggler has not done much recently, but Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Balor, yes please. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor. To be honest, I need to go on a run here, guys. I don't actually rate Shinsuke Nakamura that much. I've seen his matches and I've enjoyed them, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's one of my favourites, and I don't even think, a lot of people say he's one of the best in the company, but from what he's actually performed, since he's been on the main roster, I cannot personally say that I've enjoyed his matches as much as he's hyped up to be. I mean, I've seen some of his matches in New Japan, don't get me wrong, those were top notch. And when he debuted, he had a match against Sami Zayn, which I thought, bloody hell, if this is what this guy's like, I'm going to love him. Then he sort of, and some people like these matches against the likes of Bobby Roode, but I could not get into them. I was not invested. I just don't know what it is, but there's something about him. His matches seem too repetitive, too boring, or maybe just I don't like that style, but I just can't get invested in them. But obviously, getting back on track, people are, and it will still make money, which of course all WWE is worried about. And having stuff like that, someone like that who is versatile and can wrestle so many different people, is someone you want on a brand. Why you have an AJ Styles, why you have a Daniel Bryan, and it's why you have a Seth Rollins, a Finn Balor. But anyway, guys, that was my predictions. I can put the phone down. It's actually my mum's phone because I'm recording on mine right now, so I had to have something to have my predictions on. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been quite a while since I've actually uploaded. I really can't remember when it was. Probably just over a week ago now, potentially almost 2. But I really do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, please remember to like, comment, subscribe and share the video. I have just hit 100 subscribers, so I really want to say a big thank you for that. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but to me, after doing this for I think probably like 4 years on and off now, to actually hit that, it's sort of something when you think 100 subscribers is not a lot, but as soon as you actually get there, it seems sort of different, and you're like, oh, it was a shock to me, because I got I think 40 subscribers in a day, when I hadn't uploaded in a week, and it just sort of, I was like, where did that come from? But if you are new to the channel, I want to say thank you. If you've been here for a long time, thank you again, and I hope you guys will enjoy the channel's content in the future. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, so I'll see you in the next one.